welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking onto this video. Today's video is going to be a chit chat, but before any further ado, let me introduce myself. In case you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Carol Chege and I love being on YouTube. We're gonna have conversations, we're gonna talk about anything and everything, as well as I get to know me, because I feel like when I do this get to know me, at least there's gonna be a connection between me and you guys. You're gonna know a little bit more about me and we're gonna feel more connected. The other thing is I didn't go the traditional way. I didn't ask guys on Instagram to ask me questions or on my YouTube poll to ask me questions that you want to know about me, because I just wanted to be as authentic as possible to give you what I have to offer first, and then maybe at a later date we are gonna do a get to know me tag where you ask me questions and I answer. But for now, let's do this my way. It really makes me happy to know that I am on this side doing this and then there's someone else on the other side receiving. I recently joined YouTube. We are still on my first month of YouTube. This is my third video. There is an introductory video that I did, as well as a vlog that I did a week later, and now I'm doing a get to know me stroke chit chat, so you can go watch those ones and then also catch up on this one and subscribe in case you are a returning viewer, because I know there's someone out there who's watching me and they have not subscribed. Take this as a sign. The fact that you're watching the third video, you're already vibing, you're already keeping up with the vibes. So please subscribe, because it helps me grow my numbers and it helps me grow my channel. And the numbers never lie, so the numbers will help the YouTube algorithm in locating more people. Like, my videos will be put out there for more people to discover me. So please like the video, comment, subscribe, and I am very happy to have you here. Let's get right into the chat. I honestly want to be as relaxed as possible as I'm doing this, because here, you guys, I always thought that I'm not camera shy, but it turns out taking pictures and recording videos are two different things. Because right now I can see myself here, like you can see Nangalia, a different place from when I look at the camera. And when I look at the camera, I feel a reflection of myself and I'm just like, ah! A little bit shy, but I'm trying to be as comfortable as possible so that this can feel as real as possible. I want this to feel like we are having a conversation with a friend, because you guys are my friends. Yeah, hence why we have a gown and a bonnet, so that we can be as comfortable as possible, and we are home. So we get on to the first agenda. The first topic I want us to talk about, obviously, is my YouTube channel. So, as I've said this for a million times and I'm saying it again, I have always wanted to start a YouTube channel ever since I was 19 years old, but kept postponing it until I think the right time came, because right now I feel like this is the right time. I feel like there was no better time for me to start earlier on. This is really the right time, and I am in my element. I feel confident, I feel comfortable. I also feel grown enough, because the internet can be quite tricky with trolls and love. You never really, like, finding a balance and finding your routine requires you to be mentally mature, if I may say. Yeah, so that you can be able to handle people, because this is a public platform where you're letting yourself out there to anybody and everybody, and they can do to you as they wish. So me being mature enough really helps, because I'm able to deal with all of you. Let's get into the get to know me segment, and the first thing we're gonna be talking about is my beautiful name. So my name, as it appears on my national identification card, is Caroline Ojeko Chege. Chege is my surname, my dad's name. Wanjiko is my grandma's name. So in the community that I belong, the community that I come from, let me stay comfortable. They name their kids after their parents. So I was named after my dad's mom, that is Wanjiko, and I named myself Carol. Like, believe it or not, I named myself Carol. So what happened is, when I was young, I used to live with my mom and my auntie inside of Thika prisons at the police quarters. And when we were living here, we used to meet up like watoto wa kama estate, like Insasi estate, watoto wa prisons wote tunacheza pamoja. So there was this girl called Carol. She was like the mother hen of the group. She was just confident, brave. You couldn't tell her nothing and things like that. So I think it's safe to say I admired her. Maybe at the time I didn't know I admired her, but I loved her vibe. So after that, my auntie got transferred and my mom and I moved out to go live alone. Later on, my dad would join us, but he was in a different place because of work. So we had this neighbor that had a beautiful, responsible girl called Carol, and my mom would leave me under her care when she went to work, and we didn't have a nannies because kitambo nannies would potea. They used to like it's like you hire a nanny today and then tomorrow she's gone, and she must have carried something like amewaibia sijui vitambaza viti, kama mjui vitambaza viti tupatane nyuma ya tent. Anyway, amewaibia vitambaza viti ama vijiko ama sufuria. Like, it was so funny. So this second Carol was really beautiful and my mom trusted her. So that meant I got to spend more time with her, and there's a car passing and it's noisy. Let's wait for it to pass. Check if you're subscribed and subscribe. So I will get more time with Carol. Even we'll be together at night, and I started telling everyone to call me Carol because this Carol was just blessing my soul. And I remember I told my mom I want my name to be called Carol. Why can't I change my name? So initially my mom had named me Celine because distractions, there's a plane passing. You know, like I've placed you on the window pane. So yeah. My mom had named me Celine because she used to listen to lots of Celine Dion. So even some of her cousins still call me Celine. And I think Celine was the best name for me because it's such a beautiful, unique name. So yeah, so my mom named me Celine. And when I was transitioning to grade 1, class 1, we needed to have a birth certificate. And so when you go to pick the certificate, I don't know if the certificates didn't used to have names already, but somehow she managed to come home with a certificate written Carol, and that's how I ended up being called Caroline Wanjiko Chege. And most of you call me Carol, some call me Carol Chege, some call me Chege. Others fight me, telling me I should be calling myself Chege. Like, really? Why are you fighting? It's not that deep. Lol. And others call me Shiko. So how Wanjiko turns into Shiko, I can't explain that. My geographical location. I am a Kenyan girl. I am a Kenyan girl based on the central part of Kenya. So that's according to the initial way of partitioning Kenya. Like, Kenya was initially partitioned according to provinces, and we lived in central province, but it is now partitioned according to counties. We have 47 counties in Kenya, and I've had the privilege of growing in between 4 of these counties. So like I've already told you, when I was young we lived in Thika, So that's Kiambu County. Then we moved in with my dad and moved to Githunguri. That's a different part of Kiambu County. My parents were working in Nairobi, so that meant we had to live in Nairobi for some days and some days in Kiambu. And that's Nairobi County. Also for my uni, I went to Nairobi County. But for my primary school and a high school education, I went to Murang'a County. So when I turned 10, I decided I was going to join boarding school. That was in class 5. And what transpired was, or rather what inspired me to join boarding was, as I told you, my parents used to work through the counties of Nairobi and Kiambu County. That meant my mom would come home on Sundays and then go back to Nairobi on Wednesdays. So we would only spend the weekend and Monday and Tuesday together. And then my dad would come home during the weekends, like on Saturday, and go on Monday morning. So at some point I got tired of that arrangement, because the days that they were not in Kiambu, it meant like I had to move in with my mom. I also remember living with nannies, living with family members at our place. So I just got tired, especially when I started going to my granny's. But my granny was really used to take good care of me. But I used to really miss my parents, sometimes cry. So I decided this will be solved by me going to boarding school. And I went for interviews and chose Bishop Career Education Center, a school in Murang'a County, a top school in Murang'a County. So first of all, everything about this school made me happy. This school made me love school. It made me perform well. It really created my character. It helped me develop my character and whom I am these days, or right now. I heavily and highly credit it to that school. So it was a Catholic school, but not a typical Catholic school with nuns, like Catholic sisters. We only had one nun, one sister, who was the school's secretary, and a deacon who is now a priest. And at the time, the deacon was our director. The deacon was so loving. I think he had spent all his life, or most of his life, in Italy. And so he was so disciplined, and he had high levels of etiquette. He was all about etiquette. He would teach us lots and lots of etiquette. Like, we would have lessons primarily based on etiquette. And he really developed us. I will insert a picture of myself and Deacon Hammond and my best friend at the time, Maureen. We still talk and we are still close friends. So this school, I really love this school. We used to have 2 visiting days, first visiting and second visiting, and every parent will come in driving. Like, this school just had its own pressures. Then there was a river flowing between the academic side and the dormitory side. So the academic side had the classes, the dining hall, the administration block, the parade ground, the staff room and things like that, and the boardroom. Then the dormitory side had the dormitory, the field, fruit farms, and the kitchen. So this school also had hundreds of fruit trees, mango trees. Also remember we had sugarcane and avo and mapera ni guavas, and we wouldn't pluck them. We were so disciplined. Like, you will pass by trees full of ripe mangoes and we wouldn't eat them. Like, this school was top notch when it came to discipline, and I really enjoyed my time there, my 4 years there. And after 4 years, I graduated, and then I moved to my high school. I moved to Kahuya Girls High School, and safe to say I just survived through the school for the entire 4 years. But after that, I went to the Cooperative University of Kenya. This was another time of my life. I loved my time in cooperative. This is where I met my close friends. I met my life partners, if I may call them that. Like, this is where I developed deep connection. Sorry, it wants to rain outside. This is where I developed deep connections with people, made great friends, enjoyed studies again after my primary school. At least I enjoyed going to class again. I enjoyed what I did. And after 4 years, I graduated with a Bachelor's of Science in Finance. So one of the most fascinating things about cooperative was the fact that it was in Karen. I remember I had never gone to Karen before. Well, I had gone to Giraffe Center before, but I had never gone to the residential side of Karen, you know, like where people are living. Sorry. I had never seen what life is like in Karen, and I was super excited. And to think that I was gonna spend 4 years there, and my dad was excited as well. My parents supported me throughout my education. They paid for my school fees, catered for my upkeep and things like that. I was a baby girl. Never at one point did I feel the need to support my own self. Like, I had my parents' support, but at some point I got into clothing business, which had crazy margins, and I used to get money, but I used to hate convincing people to buy my clothes. And then when I got to fourth year, my friend and I decided we wanted to move out of. We used to live in hostels that didn't, like, private hostels. So we decided we want to move into our own house. We somehow managed to convince our parents, and so we moved to Ngong. And this now is when we lived in Kajiado County. Ngong was nice, a bit cold, very serene. Ngong is that part of Nairobi, if I may say, or because there are people who live in Ngong and they go to work in Nairobi, that is not as clouded by everybody. So Ngong was a really nice place to live in. We really enjoyed. I have footage of our little house together. And yeah, after that we graduated together. I held a home party. My parents held a home party for me, and she came. I also went to her home party. Like, life in campus was really amazing, and life in Karen was amazing. I remember at that time when we used to live in the private hostels, they were in Hardy. Actually, Giraffe Center is in Hardy residence, and also the DP at the time, the deputy president, who was Ruto at the time, used to live in our residential area. So tulikuwa tunajichocha, tunaenda morning run, evening walks. The place was so serene, and every time I used to be really grateful to God that in his blessings, he decided to bless me with at least that long period of time to live in Karen. And we would go shop at the hub, and we would convince ourselves that Carrefour is actually cheaper than any other place. But shops in Hardy were expensive, and we had a supermarket called Hardy Post, which was quite expensive. So we preferred shopping in the hub, and we would really enjoy that lifestyle. Hey, I think that was the best season of my life. If I was asked to go back to school, to campus, I would. Minus the books, or even with the books, I would. I would. So yeah. The other thing that I thought was necessary for me to talk about is my perspective on life, so that we can even connect even deeper. Like I told you, the main aim of this video is for me to connect with you guys. So for me, I believe life is a blessing. First of all, I believe in the existence of a superior being, specifically God. And I am a Christian. I subscribe to the Christian religion, and I go to my Catholic church. I go to the Catholic church, so I believe in the Blessed Virgin Mary, the angels, the saints, and things like that. So I believe there is a God that created all of us. And I believe God is a good God, and God wants the best for us. God wants us to be happy, and God created us to worship Him as well as experience life. So every day of my life, I pray to God that I may not survive through the day, but actually experience His goodness and the goodness of that day. So when I come up with new recipes, I feel like, hey, yeah, today I lived that. Today was even a better day to be alive. Like, my worst fear is to survive through life. My worst fear is to wake up because it is in the morning. I just want to live a purposeful life, a life where I'm doing things I love, like whatever I'm doing right now. A life where I'm raising kids at some point, a life where I have a job that I enjoy, and a life where I have friends that I love. I also love people, despite people being something else. Actually, there's a verse of the Bible that says, I have my Bible here because I'm next to my bed. There is a verse that says, it's in the first gospel, the Gospel of St. John, and it says something about Jesus not trusting people. It says, this is John chapter 2, verse 24. But Jesus would not entrust himself to them, for he knew all people. He did not need any testimony about mankind, for he knew what was in each person. So I interpret that verse to mean that Jesus himself, when he was on earth, on his mission to be our savior, he didn't trust everyone, because he knew whom people are. Like, he knew all people. That's what that verse says. So yes, I don't trust people easily. In fact, I don't open up easily. I don't talk to people easily, and I'm not an introvert. I don't talk to people easily, but when I do with so much love. I love people. I love taking care of people. I love, if it's within my capacity, I will easily provide for people. I love when people are happy. I hate when people are humiliated. I absolutely hate when people are humiliated. It doesn't matter what they have done. I really, 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 really hate when people are humiliated. So I love God. I believe in God. I believe in His blessing over my life. I believe in chasing dreams. I believe life is all about waking up every day of your life and just chasing your dream. So at the moment, let me use this example. I have my YouTube channel, which I've always wanted to start. Now that I finally started, every day I wake up, I just think about it. I think, what is the next video I'm gonna do? How am I going to improve my content? How am I going to be more connected to my people? How can I do this differently? This fills my soul. And I also believe in filling your cup before you pour into other people, like praying over yourself, reading books if you love reading books, watching movies if you love watching, doing things that brighten up make things that zina make soul yako come alive. So doing those things, that even when you pour into other people's life, you're not a bitter human being, getting mad at everyone, getting angry at everyone, shouting at everyone, shouting at the conductor, shouting in the petrol station, shouting where. You just move in life as a happy, free spirited being. So that's my perspective about life. What's yours? Comment down below. I would love to know. The other things that I love doing is, when I was young, I loved singing, but then the more I grew up, the more I realized, hey, there are people that can sing. And so I don't know how I moved from saying my talent is singing to saying that I can only sing in choirs, and to now believing that my talent is not even singing. I don't know who killed the dream. So when I was young, I got, I think, 2 rewards for best in liturgy. And I was also part of the school's choir, and I would sing in the choir during mass. I don't know what happened. And I also love dancing. As an adult, I dance during Zumba or alone in the house. I really love dancing. And I love going to the club, not for alcohol, but for the loud music and dancing. Like I can stay up all night in a club without drinking, just to dance. Or with friends. I love going to the club with friends for vibes. I'm not the type to go alone. The other thing that I love is doing is listening to podcasts. I listen to thousands and thousands and thousands of podcasts. The reason as to why I'm not gonna plug them is because yes, I do listen, but most of the time I don't agree to what people say. I don't know if it's because we've gotten to that point in life where anyone can start a podcast. People are just releasing episodes left, right, and center. And the information is very contradicting. But one podcast that I would recommend without keeping amazing, without hindrance, is the Wisdom and Wellness podcast. It's a podcast by Mpumile Dwaba. She is a South African. She basically interviews, I think, successful people in South Africa. You know, I don't know the people she interviews. She just brings guests, but I think it's the celebrities and people that have done exceedingly well. So that one is really, that brings life to someone. The other one that I could recommend is Equip and Elevate by Ayanda Vanna, also a South African. Local ones, I listen to TMI. I also listen to, I used to listen to It's Related, I Promise. Who else do I listen to locally? I can't think of any other person, but I also know there's the Joyride, there's the Man Talking, there's what used to be over 25. But yeah, so visiting, I also love visiting new places. The most recent place that I visited that I'd never been to before was Kirinyaga County. I was taking a friend to school, back to school, and I loved that experience. I just love going to new places. It opens my head and it makes me realize how blessed I am to actually come from where I come from. Like it makes me feel like Kenya is a country we are so blessed. I love cooking so much, for myself, for my loved ones, for everybody. Like I will cook every day of my life and not get tired. I love self-care. I love myself. I love taking care of myself. I love doing skincare. I love going on solo dates. Like I can literally go alone to a restaurant, sit by myself, enjoy the meal, and go back home feeling filled and happy. I a babe that has really come a long way with self-acceptance, but slowly but surely I such a self-accepting person. There is absolutely no one I will want to be like. I feel enough under my own skin, and I feel like in another world I would still choose to be me with a little more money though. I love myself so much, so much. I don't know if I mentioned earlier that the meaning of my name is brave and courageous. I am a very brave girl. I stand up for myself. You can never come at me trying to harass me. I stand up for myself. I stand up for I stand up for myself, and I stand up for my friends, both physically. You can't attack my friends or my family members physically, and yes. Yeah. And the last thing that I would want to tell you guys is that you're responsible for how people treat you. Like how someone treats you is your responsibility. So set that pace. Decide how you're going to interact with people. If someone crosses your boundary, confront, tell them I didn't like what you did. Because what's the worst thing they can do either way is just leave you. And if they were in your life but keep on crossing your boundaries, would you rather have people that cross over your boundaries or have few friends that are respectful? And also, when you do away with people that don't respect you, people that don't see your value, when you walk away from people that don't see your value, you actually create room to meet with people that see your value, people that value you, and you end up living the best life ever. We have come to the end of the video. I am so tired. My mouth is dry. let me tell you guys, when I was starting a YouTube channel, I used to hear people saying YouTube channel is work, it's effort, but I didn't realize it's gonna be this much work. And even when I used to record these 2 videos in the house by myself, I would really enjoy. But right now, thinking that you're gonna release it, it brings so many thoughts, and you don't wanna say everything and anything because you are interacting with everyone and you need to accommodate everyone. Yeah, so we've come to the end of the video. I'm gonna touch a little bit on the 2 previous videos. The immediate previous one was the vlog to Masai Mara. I enjoyed editing that vlog. It was my first vlog or stroke video to edit, and I loved the outcome, and I was so sure this is it. But you guys seemed to love the first one compared to this second one. But thank you so much for coming this far. And let me pick this call. We have come to the end of the video. If you've gotten to this point, thank you so much. If you've gotten to this point and you're subscribed, thank you. If you've gotten to this point and you're not subscribed, trust me, you're vibing. So do the necessary, hit the subscribe button. And also, you could be subscribed and you've not hit the notification bell, so when I post, you don't get notified unless you go to my page and check for my videos. Also, go watch my Masai Mara vlog. As I was saying earlier, I was really excited to create that one. Go watch that one. Also, go watch my introductory video. Now, this is my get to know me video, which is my 3rd video. I hope you feel more connected to me. If you have more questions, feel free to ask on the comment section and I will answer them. Like the video, comment, and that's it. Bye until next time. Mwah. Guys, I was done with filming and I am done with editing, like the basic editing of putting the clips together. And then I realized, is it even a get to know me video when I've not told you guys how much of a wellness babe I am? So this is me to you, telling you this part of my life. I love wellness. By wellness, I mean mental wellness, being okay, not being depressed, stressed, or suicidal, but being okay in the stage of life you are in, whether it's working out for your good at that very moment or you feel like the world is coming to end. I am such an advocate for you trying to be okay. So what I usually do is that I do a lot of journaling. This year alone, I have filled, I'm in my 3rd journal. So I write and I write and I write. And how I do my journaling is that I brain dump. When I feel overwhelmed or I feel my heart is heavy, I'll just write and write and write like 2-3 pages, and I'll have released that part of me. I also have various journals, like I have a prayer journal, and then I have the brain dump journal, and then I have a notebook which is a diary as well. So yeah, the other thing that I do for my wellness routine is that I do affirmations. I actually affirm myself. I'll look at a mirror or write down in a book, and I'll write things like, I think I have affirmations written on the front page of my Bible, and the very first one says, every single thing has been working together for my greater good. And I believe that. I believe that everything has been working together for my greater good, whether good or bad. I believe it was all meant to happen so that it can help me move a step forward to the greatness that the Lord envisioned when He created me. The other thing that I am affirming myself this week is that I thank God that the magic of true love is part of my story. Like, you know, the way we've gotten to a point where people are being victims of toxic relationships, and men out here are not acting right, ladies out here are not acting right, and people are being hurt. It's almost like the norm. People think, the people that cheat think everyone is cheating, and we are almost at this point in life where the margin is, or the common thing is, that we are all cheating, which is actually not the truth. Other people are in healthy relationships. There's this colleague of mine that will talk about her boyfriend and her face will glow, and she will tell us that growing up she saw her dad love her mom so well, such that she wishes to get married as soon as possible. She's just, I think she's either 23 or 24, but she wants to get married because the boyfriend has been showering her with love, and she's hoping that her marriage will be as good as what she saw her parents go through. So being in a healthy relationship is an actual gift from God, and this is also a reminder: do not settle for that toxic human being that is not treating you right, whether a man or a lady, just for you to be seen in a relationship. Because the moment you decide to leave is the moment you also put yourself out there for that nice person. Do not compromise, but also don't act like who you're not. Be yourself and you will find your tribe. The other affirmation that I've been currently singing to myself, reciting to myself, saying to myself, praying over myself is that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And this is an actual Bible verse. I think St. Paul was writing to the church at Romans. This Bible verse in Romans 4:13. Philippians. He was writing to the Philippians, and he was saying something in those lines that he can do absolutely anything through Christ who strengthens him. So I do affirmation. I also practice gratitude, whereby I write down all the things I'm grateful for. For example, I'm grateful that I saw the day today. I am grateful that I am alive, I am healthy, I can speak, I can see. Sometimes it's as simple as that. I'm grateful my air is fresh, there's no noise in the place I am in. Like I can be at the window pane and shoot and get to the end of the shoot. Sometimes it's as deep as I am grateful for I have had the privilege of enjoying both of my parents right to the age of 24. Like up to today, I can still, when things get tough, I can pack up and go home. So I'm grateful for that. I can pick my phone and call my dad and ask him to send me money, like when I am in really bad situation, and he'll come through. I don't even need to call my mom. My mom will call me every other day, and when I don't call her, that's her problem. So sometimes it's something as deep as I'm grateful for both parents, but sometimes it's something as shallow as I am grateful for the air that I am breathing is fresh. So here we journal, we practice affirmations, and also gratitude. The other thing that I would love you guys to know is that I am a girly girl. I love girlish things. Right now my voice is raspy because one, I've been talking for long, two, I'm recovering from a cold, but I love my soft feminine voice. I love my feminine outfits. I love just being in my feminine energy, resting in it, and operating from that point of view. But don't get me wrong, I'm not the soft girl that you can step on. Don't get me wrong. Anyway, that's it for the video. I started this video on quite a low energy because, as I've told you, I'm recovering from a cold and I'm trying to speak faster and I just can't because my voice is raspy right now. I just want to drink water. But we've ended it at such a high note. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye. Mwah.